everybody, and welcome to another weekly update from myself, Sarah Lean. I want to cover off some Azure news to start with. So I've got 3 bits of news that I want to cover off. The first one is that we've released a generally available feature for your virtual machines and your managed disk in terms of burstable speeds. So often if you're sizing an application and you have peak performance at some point, in previous ways of doing this, you've had to spec your virtual machine and your managed disks based on that peak performance in terms of IOPS or throughput performance. And often that was quite an expensive way to do it because the peak was maybe only for a small period of time. Now we have this virtual machine VM level disk bursting feature where for a short burst of time you can actually, burst the I/O and the throughput of that disk. And then you can actually deal with that peak performance and can scale down your virtual machine and your disks to the average performance, so not always the peak, and you can take advantage of this. Now, it's enabled for the Azure LS V2 series virtual machines, but we're going to have more virtual machine types and families coming soon to it. So the feature doesn't cost anything more, and it's enabled by default on that virtual machine series at the moment. So I'll put a link below so you can read more about that and take advantage of it, hopefully, for your workloads and your applications. The other feature I want to talk about is another generally available one, and that's around SQL auditing for your Azure. So previously your Azure SQL auditing storage couldn't be behind a virtual network or a firewall, but now it can. So you can audit those events that are happening with your Azure SQL and write it to a storage account that's actually behind a virtual network and a firewall. Again, I'll put the link below in the description so you can go and have a read of that. The third bit of news that I want to cover off is a preview feature that we have for Azure Front Door. And it's around these rules engine. So you now have this ability to customize how HTTP requests are handled. And I'm just going to pull up the news announcement here to talk about some of this. So you can kind of force what's happening to some of the HTTP requests that are coming into your front door. So things like if people are using a mobile app, device versus a desktop device, you can actually route the traffic depending on the pattern that they're sending and then send them down to the right version of the site that kind of renders better for that device. You've also got the ability to redirect, so some of the redirect kind of rules, so 301, 302, 307, 308, you can actually redirect on those rules as well. It's in preview, so again, I'll put some links in the description show notes for you to have a read about that and check that out and see if you can leverage it with your environment. So that's the news that I wanted to cover off this week. There's a couple of things I wanted to cover off from me personally. So last week, if you watched my video, you'll have heard that I was struggling a little bit with just how things are. I'm not quite 100%, but I'm kind of getting there. I've been mindful to take a lot of self-care recently. One of the things I've been doing is making sure I schedule time for some exercise. So on every Monday morning and every Wednesday morning, I've scheduled out time in my diary so that I can actually take part in the Joe Wicks workouts that he's doing online. So that's really been challenging. Some of those have been really quite hard, but it's been good fun just to break up my kind of morning and have a go with that, and it definitely helps my mood overall during the week, and hopefully it'll help my health as well, obviously. So that's one thing that I've been doing to take care of myself. I'm also kind of looking forward to having to build my PC, so you'll see there's parts in the back. I haven't built it up yet. I'm hoping to do that at the weekend and make sure I have definite enough time to spend and dedicate to it. And I'm hoping to film it as well, so hopefully next week there'll be a video of me building it and just seeing what it looks like. Fingers crossed for that as well. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I've been working on some video editing this week, which has been a bit challenging in terms of the amount of work that has to kind of go into in order to produce these videos. Now, they're not full in-depth videos, they are just me talking to the camera with a couple of slide decks occasionally, but there've been a lot of work in terms of prepping for it, in terms of creating the content. Now that I've got the content, I had to spend time video editing it, making sure the audio was right. I've then got to do some show notes around it. I've got to do artwork around it, social media promotion, scheduling time. Now, this is not hardship in any way, and I'm not having a go at what I do, but it's just that kind of insight into what I've been doing and how much work it takes to put out even these small videos that are, say, 6 minutes, 10 minutes long. It does take a lot. So for everybody screaming for new content, new stuff, please bear in mind we are working behind the scenes. A lot of us, not just me, not just my team. There's lots of people out there who are striving hard to put content out and kind of help everybody that's working at home at the moment and wanting to learn and study for exams, etc. These things don't come out in like 5 minutes. You might see at the end a 5-minute video, but believe me, there's a lot of work that goes into these videos and a lot of passion and effort. So that's what I've been doing this week, just kind of getting that video set up and prepped, so you'll see that in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, coming out, and hopefully that'll be useful as well. Obviously, the big event that's happening as well this month is Microsoft Build. It's obviously going virtual or remote. So there's lots of things happening in the background in order to make that happen. I don't think it's a secret, but I am helping out moderate 2 of the sessions that are going to be happening at Build. So I'm looking forward to that and figuring out how we do this and how the team have been working. I've been privileged to hear some of the stories of how the guys and girls are working to bring this event virtually to you all. So I'm looking forward to seeing the result, and hopefully everybody else will enjoy the event as well. The last bit of good news, I think, for those that have been paying attention to my videos the last couple of weeks, my neighbour who's been building a deck, I think, fingers crossed, is actually finished. I haven't heard him building anything, and it looks like he's tidied up all his material, so that's going to be really good for my sanity, not hearing him bash and bang and drill all day. So yeah, that's really good for me as well. So have a good one, everybody. Whatever you're going to be up to this weekend, enjoy. Like I said, I'm going to try and delve in and build my PC, so that'll be good fun. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you next week.